You're listening to Deep Space One, Solar FM.
I have 3 of them.
Burner phones?
No, 3 cell phones. Yeah, it's miserable.
You'll be hooked. Oh,
Did you have?
All right, it's 8 o'clock. I'd like to call the Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes.
full board.
thank you. If everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor, can you lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we again just thank you, Lord, for this time of the year, this season of spring, Lord. I know it's been a little rough start, but we just thank you for all the new growth and new life out there, Lord. Just an encouraging time of year. And now, Lord, as we enter into this meeting, we just pray that you continue to give the department heads and all the employees just the wisdom that's necessary, Lord. We can't do it ourselves, and we can't do it together without you. So, Lord, we just pray that you have your way in this meeting. And we ask these things in Jesus' name.
Amen. All right, announcements and correspondences. Board members, do we have any announcements or correspondences?
I do.
All right, go ahead,
I've
Sue.
been busy. I have here a new cell phone. And I want everybody to know this is a township phone, and township business should be called to me if you have any on this phone number. And that phone number is 330-604-8515. Then I want to let everybody know that on May the 3rd, I've been invited to a seminar on human trafficking. And Peter Elliott is the U.S. Marshal from the Cleveland area. And he was instrumental. He was appointed by the president. And in the past, he has implemented and put in a program for this human trafficking. So I'm very interested in finding out what he has to say, and I'll share it when I get back. Then I received in correspondence, I received an email from the alzheimersupport.com from Maya Thompson. And she says she's contacting us on behalf of the Alzheimer's Support. And it's a free service that assists Brimfield families who have loved ones with Alzheimer's disease or dementia. And what they do is through our free search tool and database of Alzheimer's care facilities, families in need of care of their loved ones can locate licensed care homes and communities in the Brimfield area that are best equipped to provide care for their loved ones. And so I just wanted to share this with everybody and let you know this is available out there for us if we have questions. So I thought it would be good to present that. Then I'm on the Portage County Central Visitors Bureau, and we have printed out 75,000 of these flyers or these little books. This goes in when you're traveling and you see the card things stuff telling you what all is going on in the area. This is for Portage County. It's very informative because it tells you everything that's around in this area for parks and apple orchards and bird watching, and the Kessel House is in here, the bread oven, things in our area. Just want to know this is available, and it's really a good thing. That is paid for by the bed tax from the hotels in Brimfield. So we want to get heads in beds because it helps our community. Just want to let you know, if you want any of these, let me know. I'll be sure and get them for you. And that concludes my announcements and correspondence. I've been busy.
Mike, any announcements? All right, department heads, any announcements or correspondences to be aware of? All right, thank you so much. We have no scheduled meeting guests today. We will move into meeting minutes. Give me 1 second here. We have to approve those. The special meeting, I think we need to hold off on the approval of the special meeting from April 6th. We need to update those meeting minutes. It doesn't state what the meeting was for. So let's table those ones. But I will entertain a motion to approve the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees regular meeting, April 6th, 2022 meeting minutes.
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Next, we have the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
I'm going to make that motion.
Second.
All right, for discussion, any amendments to the agenda? Roy, I know you had
I
one.
have one amendment to amend the services contract with Kent State University PD.
Okay, so this will be Police Department 2D as in David, amendment to service contract with Kent State. Any other amendments to the agenda from department heads or board members? All right, hearing none, roll call for acceptance with amendments.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Next up, purchase orders. I'll entertain a motion to accept purchase orders.
I'll make that motion, Nick.
Second.
All right, roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, next up is our warrants. I'll entertain a motion to accept warrants.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, now we will open up the meeting to public comments and questions. We ask that you please state your name and address before addressing the board and to limit your comments to 5 minutes. The floor is now open. No? All right.
I got it kind of late. My name is Dick McNeil. I live in Kent, but my family has had property in Brimfield since the early 1900s. And we're considering building, developing, or selling a property that's on 43 at River Road. And before we do that, we want to get started with the right foot, make sure we're in compliance, and certainly we solicit your ideas or anything that you see going up that way, that 43 corridor.
First, Dick, what's your address just for the meeting minutes?
1444 River Park Drive in Kent.
So I would recommend having a conversation with Mike Ladd. He's our zoning and economic developer. He would be the person to contact about property pieces, and he has all the connections with the developers in the area. And we also have a 2050 land use plan that kind of depicts what the vision is of the township going forward. That outlines the different districts and what we want to see those districts rezoned as. But Mike would be a great resource to help you in that process.
Okay, good enough. Thank you. I'll be talking to you, Mike.
Okay, sounds good. All right, anything else? All right, hearing none, we'll move into safety concerns. Is there any safety concerns to be addressed today?
I want to thank Dave Riffner for sending his guys out with the Durapatcher. Because up in the Beach Crest allotment, we had some pretty good potholes up there, and it's really improved it a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
No problem, we're trying.
And Dave, those trees on that corner are showing, 2 of those, man, they definitely look like they're starting to lean further.
corner.
Around the bend.
Yeah, well,
Better keep an eye on those.
yeah, when they come down, we'll get them. I've spoken with Dave Kuntzman about some more cleanup down through there.
And what about that killer goose? Came out on the road and was freaking squawking at me. I should have ran the thing over.
Well, I'm not telling you
Have you
this.
seen that killer goose over there?
Uh-uh.
Beware, I'm Sherman Kirk.
Well, I'm not saying hit your brakes.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. We'll move into the business portion of our meeting at this time. We ask the audience to hold any questions or comments till the very end. And we'll start with the police department. Roy, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nick. Justin, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you real quick. For the board this morning, I wanted to take a couple of minutes to introduce you to a gentleman by the name of Justin Couch. Justin's over there at the end and just stood up there for you. Justin's going to be serving in the role of as a chaplain for our police department. I'm going to give a little bit of information about Justin, a little bit about the program, and then Justin, you can feel free to say anything else that I might have missed. Justin's the assistant pastor at First Freedom Baptist Church here in Brimfield. He has assisted our department as a role player in our use of force scenario-based training over the past 3 years. And he's come away with a few bruises and welts after going through that training, but we appreciate him stepping up and serving in that role. Justin has also assisted our department and community with our Shop with a Cop, our safety school, our canine demonstrations, as well as participating in Brimfest and helping out in that venue as well. Justin resides here in Brimfield with his family. He's got a brand new baby girl who was just born on Friday, if I heard you correctly, Justin. So congratulations on that. Just a little bit of information about the chaplain role. I think sometimes there's some misnomers about that. You think, hey, you're a chaplain, your role is just to ride around police officers and try to convert them to Christianity. And then that is not at all the role of a police chaplain. Justin's been undergoing training that our department's been providing him with. There's a 40-hour regimen of training. And some of the topics he's getting trained in are chaplaincy and the law, stress management and critical incident stress management, post-traumatic stress injury, trauma, grief and loss, depression, domestic violence, as well as human trafficking. So he's been going through a training regimen that we put him through the International Fellowship of Chaplains. In his chaplain role, Justin's going to be a resource for our staff, as well as for our family members of our staff as well, and in the community. It's a volunteer role that he'll be coming out on a monthly basis to ride along with our officers, and he'll be a resource again, not just for our staff, but in the community as well, depending on the circumstances we run across. So I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to introduce Justin, give you a little bit of information about that program. And Justin, if I missed anything, feel free to add anything you'd like to share.
I just wanted to say it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to serve the police department and the community in this role. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time and effort with the community. I think it's important that we find resources and volunteers. As a township, we work on a limited budget, but building community relationships is really important. So thank you for your service and your time with us.
Congratulations on the new baby. How many you got now?
It's 4.
You don't sleep much,
Keep
do
them
you?
coming. Are you
This is the
done?
quietest it's been in my house. So
Right.
here.
Congratulations.
Other than introducing Justin to you as a board, I wanted to make the board aware that on May 2nd, which is a Monday at 6:00 p.m. here at the community center, our department is going to be putting on a presentation on senior scams that target our senior population. And Officer Mike Rhodes is going to be putting that on. So we'll put that information out. We've already put it out through social media feeds, but we'll continue to try to publicize that. But that'll be here on May 2nd at 6:00.
Could I add something to that?
Yes.
Speaking, this is about senior scams. I want everybody to know that the Young at Heart group has regrouped.
Mhm.
And we've had our first board meeting was like last Friday. But I just want the community to know that the Young at Heart is available there for everybody. And I just encourage them to know that we've woke up and got some good things planned.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to Marie today to let her know about
Okay,
the Maria motto.
good.
We did this, I don't want to sound like broken record, but did you reserve this?
I did. Yeah, I reached out.
It's online now. and
I
just-
reached out
just
to,
block it out.
yeah, I reached out through, I think actually Brian helped me out with that. Getting
Sure
that
you
piece
did.
taken care of. So I know we have somewhat limited space in here. So when I reach out to Marie, I'm not sure how many members there are in the Young at Heart Club,
Mhm.
but I don't want to try to pack 60 people in here. So we'll try to be cognizant of our head count, but I'll talk to Marie about that when I reach out to her.
Audra Stillwell is on that committee for pulling everybody together, and she keeps account of how many have made reservations to come. So
Okay.
that's some way to help control that.
Thank you. That's all I have, Nick.
Reminder about the website for issue 9 police.
Oh, I'm sorry.
replacement
Yeah,
levy.
I just wanted to put a reminder. The information website on the police replacement levy is bpdsafety.com. B as in boy, P as in Paul, D as in David, safetylevy.com.
All right, and then last, we had the amendment to service contract. Can you give the board an update on this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick. That was one other thing. That was an addition to the agenda. We have a services agreement contract in place with Kent State University PD. This is related to our technology piece, our licenses for our MDT units, the software pieces for that, et cetera. We made some adjustments to that, which required us to have an amendment filed for that services contract. I just need board approval to process that amendment and get that document back over to Kent State University PD.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the first amendment to services contract with Brimfield Police Department and Kent State University for technology. I need a second for discussion.
Second.
All right, so there are some additional costs involved with this contract amendment, but those were built into your budget for this year.
That's correct. We're budgeted for that. Yes, sir.
Does the board have any questions on this contract?
No.
All right, hearing none, roll call for acceptance.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right. And I will sign this and send it back over to you, Roy.
Thank you. That's all I had this morning, Nick.
All right, perfect. Any questions for the police department from the board or from other department heads? All right, hearing none, we'll move into fire department. Craig, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. As I talk about all the time, construction of the fire station, you'll see now that they're working on the third tower that's coming up in the rear of the building. That tower is actually the hose tower training tower, and it is to go up another 8 feet. Mike, did he tell you yesterday?
8 feet.
From where it's at already.
Tallest in Portage County.
Oh, yeah, we made sure of that.
So it's like we have a skyscraper.
Actually, funny note, so I did tell them, I said, I don't care if it's 1 inch higher. I want it higher. I want to have the tallest one. So I don't know
I
how.
looked at the plans. That's really nice the way the training, it'll be a good training.
Oh, yeah, and we can bring in it's not just used for our department, but we can bring in, I was actually down in Columbus a few weeks ago, and they will provide instructors and training simulators, and they can come in and use that, and we can use surrounding departments to come to our place to do.
It's a great
that kind
idea,
of
which
stuff,
is
so.
the way you did this.
So there's multiple uses for that. It's not just a tower that'll sit there, and you can walk stairs. It will be used for multi-departments.
And then I
So-
checked on changing light bulbs in the bell tower, so there will be a
Yes.
door that we can get
Yep.
up there and change those bulbs.
Yeah, so that's what you're seeing now. What you can't see from the road is they actually poured the floors of the fire department office side, let's call it. Not the bay floors yet, but that did get done. So that'll help clean up some of the mud areas, but we just need the rain to stop for that. And then, as you said, the town bell got delivered. It's sitting out front. Don't try to steal it.
Chick, you ever ring that?
I don't like where it's sitting, but I don't think anybody will steal it.
gonna be able to ring it?
It will not be ringable because of Portage County code.
But we'll probably ring it when we first put it up and do a video of it.
Yeah, what I'd like to do, and I know this sounds cheesy, is we'll have the bell up there. It'll be lit all the time, and we'll probably put hidden speakers that will have the bell chime. So
Well,
anybody who wouldn't know will think it's the bell, but
the ringer is tied up on the inside.
it is there though.
Yeah. it's-
All the parts to the bell are there. So,
Right.
but once that goes up, we'll try to shoot a video of it or something.
Well, the good thing that he told me, which I was happy to hear, is they do have the iron for the beams.
Oh, yeah.
There are, remember we were talking, it's like May 26th,
Right.
but they do have them. So they're going to pretty much finish this stuff up, and then they're going to start, I think, going on your area.
Right.
So it's going.
It'll
You know,
quick
it-
now.
As
With
the
the weather
station,
breaking.
as the station will be big and beautiful, that's probably my favorite piece of the bell. Getting that and having that for the next, 75, 100 years, hopefully, hanging.
So many more people are going to see it there.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against the Kelso, but unless you went to the Kelso,
Right.
but no, everyone coming to our community will see it.
And when I talked to the Kelso House, they were in agreement. They love that idea. So they were in agreement of us using it for that. So,
Right, yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
see that. I think they said, in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
They'll try to
Yeah.
get that hung up there.
I said, are you
So-
worried about somebody stealing it? And he said, no.
It's heavy.
He said, that's one of the heaviest things they had, right, Dave?
Yes.
He said it's probably about 1,500 pounds.
It's a lot of
I
bells.
mean, you grab it, it's that thick of copper inside. Yeah, yeah. I shouldn't say that.
Now, real quickly, Chick, that was in the old town hall, right?
Used to ring it a lot on Sundays.
How the heck did you guys get it down?
I don't know why they-
Yeah, we're not gonna.
The ringer, you can't.
We should, Craig, as we do this, I would say work with the council house. I'd like to see a little plaque on the front of the fire station for the bell tower, just talking about where it originally came
Yep.
from.
Absolutely.
So I think it'd be a nice
What
addition.
is, what, 1870? Is that what Dave said on the bell or something?
Oh, I thought it was,
BB
it's on the council house. We'd have to look and I could,
There's a plaque.
I thought it was 1813,
Mhm.
somewhere around there.
1813?
Yeah,
Holy.
but yeah, I'd have to look. There's a plaque back there. Actually, we should just get the plaque to go with it. Would make sense.
Right.
But
Okay.
okay, so that's kind of the update. Any questions on the fire station or where we're at?
Mud, mud, mud.
Well,
Don't
the
forget
rain's gonna
sidewalks.
stop and it's really gonna go soon.
Don't
So,
forget sidewalks
well, that is something we need to discuss.
and lights.
And I'll just discuss it now, but when we get to that point and we want to add the additional sidewalks to go through and the lights, we need to talk about some of that AARP funds that
Right.
could benefit to that,
Yeah,
tying that town center together.
Wendy from the Portager had mentioned something about the town center, possibly a story or something on it. So as soon as these pieces start coming together,
It's hard to put a story out there when we don't know.
oh, we
you
know.
Well,
We have
yeah,
a vision.
there's
We
a
just gotta wait for
vision,
everything to
but-
come together.
We
Yeah.
know,
So we will have to discuss that though with some of those funds.
right?
And those funds are scheduled to come in July.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Scott's a very good guy,
Yeah.
very, very knowledgeable,
He's right out of Manaway.
right?
That's where he lives. So.
Very annoyed with the weather. It's really putting a crimp in everything.
Right. Right.
That's construction.
Second thing, I need a motion to accept firefighter Scott Taylor's retirement resignation letter that he put into me at the beginning of this week. It will be effective April 23rd of 2022.
As the liaison to the fire department, I would like to make that motion to accept Scott Taylor's retirement effective April the 23rd. And need a second.
I'll second that for discussion.
Okay.
With the letter coming in, Craig, since he is retiring, have we come up with a game plan for payout of everything?
No, I'll actually discuss with HR tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
go
How many years has he been with our fire department?
10, little
10
over
years?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Is he moving on to a,
Yeah, he's moving on to be a nurse. So,
All right, any other questions, comments? All right, we'd like to thank Scott for his service, and we will call for roll call.
Mike,
yes?
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
with that, you're already seeing that we posted for a new hire. So Scott being gone this Saturday will expedite that process to get someone filled after we do our process, and then I'll bring it to you guys for acceptance. But we have to fill it. So
Are you worried about applicants or do you think?
No. we always get a decent amount. So
So how long could the whole process take?
well, let me give you two answers. As a township, I can go hire someone today like that. I choose to do a process of a test and interviews and all that, so it'll probably take about 2 months to do. So I feel like that helps get the best candidate for us. So we will do that. 2 months.
When is the test scheduled for? Because I know you advertised it.
I knew you were going to ask that. I think I'd have to look at the date, but a couple weeks. We put it out for 1 month for applications. So, and that was a week and a half ago. So
Okay.
I think it's May 4th, May 8th, somewhere around there. So
Okay.
I'll have to look, but I'll be reposting. So you'll see me put so it hits the top of the page again for the the posting.
Okay.
So.
And I know I talked with Danielle last week, and she was working on some things to get advertising out for that also.
Right. And that's all I have for fire department.
All right, any questions for the fire department from the board or department heads? All right, hearing none, we'll move into administration. Craig, the floor is yours again.
Okay, soccer field project, we had approved some of the ARP funds for finishing the Town center fields, fence is ordered, pavilion signed for, and excavation work is signed for. So those all are set aside. I'll just update you when I get when each person's coming in. Looks like probably the fence will be first, and then we'll go from there. But it'll take through midsummer to get this.
For the
these
fence
done.
or,
No, for all of it.
how
So
soon you think before the fence?
he said, well, he needed some money down, which we had an issue on the check, which I want to correct. So when John gets back, I'll get that. And then he said 2 weeks, he'll start probably on that. Everybody's just waiting for the weather to dry up, so they're not destroying things. So I assume that'll be first,
Good.
but we're all well within budget of that project.
Follow up with me later where we are on the budget, because we can still look at getting that storage unit painted this year then too.
Yes.
They said it's their busy season right now, so summertime is better for them anyways.
Yeah, we had to make a couple changes, which is within budget. The pavilion, for example, it sits on top of the concrete instead of a lot of them, they put the posts into the concrete. So we'll have to pour some pads for that. So little things here and there, but
Okay.
it'll be fine. The pavilion will be a beautiful town center piece. It's a heavy timber build, I think 10 by 10.
We'll have that most likely done by Brimfest, right?
Yes, I sure hope so.
We need it done by August. The Township
I
Association.
believe it will be. I'm telling everybody July, everything has to be done, but
Okay.
we'll see. It's not the builders, it's the materials.
Right.
Again, same thing you're always hearing. So
All right, anything else for administration?
I do. A couple other things real quick that's not on here, and these are just discussion items. Old business was approval for iPads for zoning not to exceed the $10,000 mark. We had discussed this before. I don't know if you guys want to set that in motion for zoning BZA members or wait till John is back.
I know that we had discussed this a month ago and we had tabled it. It didn't get on the old business for administration the last meeting, so it's back again. Because everybody had asked for some time to research that and discuss it. I'm good with the iPads. I just need John to approve what funding line it comes out of. So that's my only question.
So would it be fair to just wait till John's back?
I think
As
so.
long as it gets put back on the agenda.
Yeah, it just needs to be on there because we talked.
That's fine. I just brought it up as old business. I didn't expect.
Why don't you just make sure it gets on the
Anything.
agenda?
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Because we know that IT security risk is a big issue and we need to get zoning on that. And it's also going to save some money for the zoning department because then we can go all digital with plan submission then, right? So right now we're forcing developers or builders to bring in huge sets of plans because every board member has to have a set and we just don't even have a place to store all this stuff.
We have this on the agenda for the next zoning commission. We're taking a resolution where they bring 9 sets of drawings in.
Okay.
Eliminating that, going to 2.
Okay.
We'll have
2
one
in a digital.
hard copy. Yeah, everything else is digital. 1 hard copy, fire, and also zoning. And then after that, everything else is digital.
Which will help us too.
You know, if we want, we could just pass it and just leave it up to John to come back to us with where he's gonna take the money from. I mean, it's basically our decision.
Right. I mean, to me, I think it's an important piece. I'd like to see to get this process moving.
The only thing is we don't know, not to exceed $10,000 and, determining, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, Brian he had a quote and everything put together. So he had built it all out. I think it was at 10,000.
I was a little short. I put that up to cover. us.
Right.
So
And that also, the big question I had was licensure. Because when we use an iPad or anything like that, we need access to Microsoft Office. All of those people already have that licensure in place. So we're already paying that fee for our board members. It's just they've been trying to use it on personal devices.
Then it's pretty much your call if you want. When John comes back, he's gonna hit the ground running, that's for sure.
Right. Do you know if it was in their budget?
So maybe we
It was
should.
in our budget.
It was
In your budget?
Correct.
Well, Mike, what do you wanna do?
I say go ahead for it. Sooner the better.
Yeah, if it was in your budget and we had talked about it and John hadn't indicated that he was not interested in doing this, I think it's an investment in township. So I'd like to make a motion to move forward with that. The purchase of the iPads for all of our zoning commission and BZA members.
I'll second that. And for not to exceed,
Not to exceed $10,000. And then this will go in correlation with your plan to change the zoning code so that they no longer have to bring in the paper copies.
Yes.
Might as well get it started. I mean, if it's gonna save all that paperwork.
Say paperwork, and the security is the big thing. Right now, all of our board members are using their phones for email and private email. So all that has to be filtered through by Brian if there was a court request. And I just don't want Brian going through people's personal emails.
Sounds good.
All right, motion on the floor to purchase iPads not to exceed $10,000. Roll call for acceptance, please.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, and then one other discussion point real quick. As I'm trying to get things ready throughout the year, I had a company come out yesterday and estimate taking down the large barn area at Mesner Park. They already sent me back a quote for that. They would be interested in having a trustee or myself go out with them and say, hey, because I sent them out there, we looked at it. It's not just the barn, there's tires, there's a shed, there's trash, there's a fence. Like what do we want
Cassie
to
was
do?
really worried about the tires. So you want to schedule that? We'll go out.
I would just echo what Mike said. If we get someone to do that, just let them clean it all up. They actually said they'll do the tires at their cost.
Well,
I
you
would
want to
say,
schedule a time? We'll go down.
well, they would like to meet with somebody and just say, what do you exactly want? Because, that depends on the quote.
Well, I know Cassie wants them down. I know she wants to get rid of the tires. You know that. And,
Right.
Yeah, I've been out there.
I think doesn't mean we're doing it, just we can
Right,
get
this is a
quotes.
discussion
It
point.
doesn't
Right.
hurt to have a price.
Well, and I think it's worth discussing because we do have the ARPA funds coming up potentially. This is a cleanup project. But my big thing is we need to reiterate to them that that is a nature preserve and there's going to have to be some regulations on how they do that because they can't just go through and just destroy everything in the process. They got to
To get
protect
everything
that.
out right.
Yeah, so it may not be as simple as they think. So we need them to work with Western Reserve and us as we think about how we do this project.
Yep.
Because
So
there's
I
some
just-
legality on the township.
Again,
property.
we're going to be May and then it's going to be June. So I'm trying to get some of this scheduled.
Well, let's see what it looks like. I mean, it may not be in the budget for this year. This may be a
May not.
5-year project, but it doesn't hurt to have the information.
But I think we all know that we're not going to send Cassie down to do it. Nothing against Cassie, but she's not going to clean up tires. We need a company to come clean it up.
I mean, it's never a better time than with these funds coming in.
Right.
Dave should
You
go
know.
with the trustee.
Well, Dave could, but Dave doesn't. I'm doing this for Dave. Dave doesn't have time.
Oh,
for
you don't have
this.
time. Oh, well then.
So
If it's
Scratch
not
that
at
comment.
again, if a company came back and said, "Oh, it's this and it's out of hand," we say no. But I think what I saw so far, I think it's
There's a
no
lot-
reasonable
there's a
to just
lot-
let them do it.
There's a lot
So-
out there.
And then, because with the mesh back there, that's keeping us from using it.
Right.
So yeah, I'd love to see a price.
So just working on just discussion point, working on a couple of those things.
Well, let us know when you get some dates together.
And we'll come down
And we'll
there.
come down and walk it.
Who do you want me to work with? Which one of you?
I mean, it's an
Mike?
informational
I do
session,
the-
so
I do
we
the
can,
park, so
Okay,
yeah.
I have no problem.
but it is informational only, so we can have more than one
Yeah,
trustee there.
I'd rather have more people down there.
It's fine.
We don't have to make a decision. We're just looking at it.
Yeah. We're
No,
just-
and they even said if we could come in, they'd rather come in in the driest time of the year, and not mess up stuff. But
Right. And one thing, just to, the guy from that Goose Company contacted me. They came to the restaurant, but I was not there, so I'm going to meet with him. He just wants to talk to us.
Okay.
The guy, I'll just talk. I'll
tell
talk
them there's no grass. There's nothing for the goose to
Right,
do.
well, this
right?
me that did it before,
Okay.
and then at that point, we didn't have any results, but I think we're going to get more results just with that fence up.
Well, that's what
And
I want to
and
see.
Just
that
so
fence.
people know, it's not 100% fact that they won't come in.
Right.
I mean, a goose when they're have their gooselings, they won't fly over a fence because they want to stick by the goosettes or whatever.
Well, I think it's important too, because I saw a comment out there on social media about the fencing and, we're building this fence to fight geese. That's not the only reason the fence is
I
going
know,
up.
it's to
The
help
fence is
contain
there.
kids.
Yeah, we have kids running around. Kids were going down into that ravine to get soccer balls at every game.
No, it's
I spent so much time in those weeds down there every practice.
well,
a
it's
mess,
additional.
so,
It's the people driving on it.
Yeah.
They just drive on the fields.
I know, there's
Or they
always-
park in I have pictures where it says no parking on grass, and they're just all piled around the signs. They just don't listen.
Right.
So
At Facebook, there's always one negative Nelly, no
Right.
matter what.
So the fence is multi-purpose, and I think it's going to be.
And it's another dual purpose to keep them off the property. We don't own the doctor's office.
Right.
People think that that's just ours. No, that is a private business. So to deter that also, so.
Good.
But anyways, working on all that stuff. So any other questions?
Just get a sign put up, Town Center Park, or whatever we're gonna call it.
Well, I think that's gonna go possibly on the pavilion.
Okay,
So I'll show you some details of that.
just so they can see it as they're driving by at those intersections.
Can you get that builder to send us a mock-up picture or something close to what it's going to look like?
I do, and it's what I provided you guys last time. I can redo it again, but what they did, just so the board knows real quick. So you take a 30 by 40 going east to west, and they put a peak on the north-south side too. So you'll have peaks open on the end and peak open facing the Kelso Drive.
Yeah, this way, if you can give me a photo of that.
So, and it'll be large timber beams.
So
So
you could do a post on that.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think they have a picture of that.
See,
So-
I'm sure his
Or even
builder
a
has
drawing
something.
or something.
Yeah,
Right.
he could get us something.
Okay, okay.
All right, anything else for admin? Hearing none, we'll move into zoning and economic development. Mike, the floor is yours, sir.
Thanks for approving the iPads. I think that's going to be important for the boards. Instead of fumbling through papers here at the meetings, they can go right through their iPad and it's quicker as there's revisions to the drawings. They send them to us and they're instantaneous to them instead of trying to deliver all this stuff to them. So thank you. We have a status conference on 1435 Talmadge on April 27th. I plan on attending with Mark. I will not be attending the Kent Judd meeting that day because we'll be obviously there probably a little bit longer than an hour. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. We have JED meeting next Wednesday.
I was just gonna say that's when the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next one's next
next
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
so you won't be there.
And
Okay.
then I
I'll
have
be there.
all the
Yes.
meetings listed on my report.
Mhm.
We don't have to go through all those, but that one is, there's a couple others that you guys should be aware of. The county comprehensive plan, we're meeting again. We're moving along very good on that. You're on one aspect of it, Nick, I'm on the other. The subdivision updates too, I'd like to see. And I'm going to stress at the meeting when we're doing these subdivisions that I think Portage County is behind the ball with water issues, and I'd like to see final grades on new homes. It's just one more inspection, and I think it could be a pass-through cost to the home builder and homeowner, where you put money into escrow. Maybe it's $1,500. You hire a firm, engineering firm comes out there, checks the water and the grades and the final grades, and says, "Yep, everything's built to code. All the water's going to drain off, done." And then the county doesn't have to hire personnel. And I think we eliminate a lot of these nonsense complaints that we get on water that we shouldn't be getting as a township.
So is this, these are the subdivisions that we just updated with the county, correct? Where we had that
Yes.
committee, we're doing that annually now?
We're doing it annually to do updates on it. Yeah.
We have, next month, we have a township association meeting. If you could come, that would be great. If not, if you can get me some talking points on it, I'd like to bring that up to the township association to get support, because obviously our voice is louder when we have all the townships together on this. And we know here in Brimfield, we just got another email last night, complaint about water issues on properties. So if we can work together with the township association on this, I think it might help push
When
that
is that
through.
date? When is that meeting?
I don't have it in front of me. I'll get it to you later today.
Yeah, I'll attend.
Think about it, text me the date.
Okay. Yeah, there'll be an invite coming out. This one is going to be held at the county engineers, actually. So it's a
Well,
perfect
and
place to talk
There's
about
two
it.
things that we did, and I've done in the past that I brought in. And one thing is, a footer certification. It's a form. Surveyor stakes the building out, and then he sends a letter back to the township or the county, and he states that the elevation is correct, and then the location of the building on that corner is exactly where it's supposed to be. Surveyor comes in, stamps that, sends it back to us. Now his license is on the line that the house is being built in the correct position instead of us going out there with tape measures, which is stupid. So that's one aspect of it, but that all falls in line with final grade. If the building is at the right elevation according to the plans, then the swales are going to be in the right elevation. And then, an engineering firm can look at it, come out, verify it, say, this is built great, there you go. That step is missing here in the county. And that's why you see so many water complaints. And that's why you see some houses are built 5 foot out of the ground when they were supposed to be, at a different elevation. That's the one on Congress Lake, for example. It's just, this stuff in this day and age shouldn't be happening. And we have a resource and we have technology to handle this. And I don't know why we don't utilize it. But that's going to be my argument. And I know the county's probably sick of hearing me say things about it because, so frankly, soil and water doesn't do anything. They don't come out. I mean, very seldom do we get them out to handle these complaints, and it's upsetting. So hopefully that changes. Aldi's is anticipated to start May 2nd. I don't see any reason why that would be delayed. Hamrick is going very good. We are having problems getting the gas line installed. I talked to the Eby family yesterday, and I'm going to be working with them to try to get the gas line installed. I see no reason why the gas company needs to have the extension of the road done before they put the gas line in. It's way outside the pavement, so I don't know what that issue is, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And then the Brimfield signs, the trees are now removed. Dave and I have been out several times. The stumps are ground, and the surveyor is going to be staking the last one over here on the Rootstown border this week, and then GDI will start digging these out. That concludes my report. Oh, one other thing. Valvoline started. So he started yesterday, moving dirt on the site. That's between the car wash and Arby's.
Okay.
So that you'll see that coming out of the ground soon.
Did the county engineer get a hold of you about the grant funding we got for that project? He needs to get a team's meeting together with us to see what needs to be done and not done.
Yeah, so Mike Collins emailed me yesterday. I said that I would prefer waiting till John is back.
Okay.
Because John's name is all over those grants, and I don't want to speak for John or the fiscal money.
Okay.
So once he comes in, we'll coordinate it with John, and I'll meet with them. They want us to bid out DeHoff's extension of Maple Crest. I don't know the legality of that. Mark looked into it briefly and kind of passed the buck over to Brett because it's the prosecutor's decision.
Okay.
Because the engineer has to be involved. They have done something similar with ODOT on Route 18. The widening there was a county project because the county bid it out, but it's technically an ODOT project, and it was all federal funding. It would be the same situation here where we have a TIF in place for Maple Crest Extension. We also have 629 funds that the township applied for, and we got close to $500,000 in grants to build that road. The problem that lies and what we need to discuss is because we received the 629 funds and we're holding the 629 funds, the state wants us to bid it out. Well, we can't because we're a township, so the county engineer has to do it.
Okay.
And that's what the meeting's going to be about and how the money's going to flow. And I think DeHoff's lawyers have it spelled out correctly. It's just whether or not the county engineer is going to want to do it that way.
Okay. Well, let me know if you need me on that status conference too. He called me about it. I said, follow up with you because I knew you had been working with DeHoff on that.
Yeah.
that
And your
contract.
name was on it too. So if
Yeah.
you want to join that meeting, it was, the three of us all have our name connected to that 629 fund. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, just let me know when it is and I'll schedule around it.
Okay.
Okay, and where's the Valvoline going?
Right between Arby's and the car wash.
Okay,
They started yesterday.
and how many spots are left up there?
We have a whole new Brimfield Commons. You're
Right.
going to see that's going to be a big sign, just like Maple Crest has a large sign in the middle. That's going to be coming out of the ground. And as soon as you come in out front of Talmadge, you're going to have the Brimfield sign that GDI is putting in. And then you're going to have another big sign saying Brimfield Commons. And that's going to be a new shopping area with Aldi's as the first business coming in.
But in the old section, how many spots are left?
Just the stuff behind Menards. And then you have one other outlot on the other side of Myers gas station.
So that's it. So
That
it's
gas
pretty much
station there.
full.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be another Broken Egg Cafe. So hopefully that ever comes back, that'd be nice.
I don't know, I haven't heard
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
any good on that right now. Restaurants are just terrible to get in right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brimfield, I know it's just a pet peeve of the board. So Cleveland Clinic came in next to the school. It's Cleveland Clinic Kent. I don't know if we can convince them to change their signage to Cleveland Clinic Brimfield.
Sure.
That's just another location where they're using Kent as the name of the business when it's
I know,
Brimfield.
crazy.
It's right next to the elementary.
Oh, and the nursing home, we have, that was another one we changed. It was supposed to say CAT, and we switched that over to Brimfield, and I hurried up and signed the paper after they submitted the sign in. So that is coming in as Heritage Brimfield.
Is there anything you can do
Yeah, well, they don't have occupancy. So we
for
started
the
off,
Cleveland Clinic?
yeah, they did not come in and grant occupancy through us or fire department.
But
Which
they're
is
in
very,
already.
very strange because they're a well-oiled machine. You would think the first thing they would do is get the permits, but they haven't, so I haven't.
So they're operating without any of that?
I think that's correct.
So are you,
So we send violation letters and we start the process for court. And then I'm sure Cleveland Clinic's gonna jump on it once they see it, but still.
so you still have some tools to
Oh,
get
yeah.
in there?
Mhm. And the signs aren't permitted. There's no sign permit.
You know, it's the same problem with us not having a zip code.
I know.
Same time, every time.
All right, anything else for zoning? All right, hearing none, we'll move in the road department. Dave, floor is yours, sir.
I just want to let the board know right now, we're working on some equipment. As Sue mentioned earlier, we're doing dirt patching, weather permitting, which we're having a real issue with that right now. We've been fixing up some road signs that got taken out by cars and stuff throughout the winter. We just put a bunch of forms together for the foundations at the cemetery, which we're anticipating pouring in the middle of May. Just FYI to the board, starting May 3rd, we will be going on to 10-hour days. That's when contract states we go to a 10-hour day with the guys. Plus, we also had to put a little bit of salt down yesterday. That's the latest I've put salt down since I've been here, but yeah, it was what it was. Now I need to jump into the fun stuff for you. I need the board's approval, get a resolution for Portage County engineers to give me a job estimate for the project Butternut Ridge allotment. This way they can put things together and we can see what the cost of it would be to bid the job out, to redo the surfacing, curb and gutters and some of that stuff project.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for a resolution for Portage County engineers to put together a project bid for Butternut Ridge.
And we'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, any discussion on that?
We need to get going on it.
How long do we looking, Dave, for them to get the bid packet out?
We actually, last year, as you remember, we tried to put this out with a federal money thing, which we were kind of too big of a township to be in it, but it's pretty cut and dry. They just got to go revamp some numbers since the cost of asphalt, oils and all that stuff. So it shouldn't take them long to get it set up and ready to go again.
Are they trying to do a mass bid again like they did before to try to get a better price?
We're going to, on a few things, yes.
Okay.
We'll see who else, because there's a lot of people pulling projects this year.
Okay.
You hate to say it because of the price of oil and stuff. So we're going to see where it's at. I mean, it may come back too high for even us to take care of. So we'll see. We're hopefully it's still in a buffer zone of what I put back to take care of the project.
Okay.
So.
All right. Roll call for acceptance.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
The next thing, I'm spending a little bit of money this morning. The next thing I need the board's approval for is I got a bid back for the Kelso house. There's some tree trimming, some trees we need to remove up to 5. There's 5 trees and stuff. I met with the Kelso house board and Dave Kuntzman, and we went through everything. They're in agreement with us. We showed them everything we were talking about, which is bad, what needs to come down, clean up the Kelso house, some of the trees, and the price of that will be $3,300
And you said that one's in danger of falling on that.
on the Kelso house itself. Yes, that you can actually stick your hand inside there, and it's falling apart. So
I stopped up there and looked, man, that's gonna not leave a lot of trees.
well, it's a couple of them are. One tree is actually off the property. It's on Falcon Drive, which is kind of concluded on the outside of the fence. It's dead inside. The oak tree, which is by the Kelso house, it's
Yeah,
got a
that's
split
huge.
about 25 feet up, and it's actually
Big.
growing, so it needs to come down. 2 other ones are where somebody's chopped them up over the years. Big branches broke off of them. We're going to take them out and clean them up.
All right.
And then there's one that's actually just a little, I mean, it ain't even a tree really. I mean, it's only a little thing, but we want to get it out. But
he's gonna do stump grinding, and then he's also gonna get up and do a lot of cleaning up around the houses for where they just painted. Reshape the trees, get them away from the buildings where they're not rubbing on the new paint and stuff.
Right, and you guys taking care of the property up there, I mean, the last thing you wanna do is get thumped by a big branch off
Right.
that tree.
I'll entertain a approval for tree work for Kunzman Company at Kelso House for discussion.
Second.
I'll make the motion.
Mike makes the motion, Sue seconds. All right, discussion. So this is part of our maintenance program
Right.
we're doing as in conjunction with Kelso House as we start to build
Right.
that group work.
Yeah, as we move forward, man, I'm really trying to get more and more businesses to help out with the Kelso. I mean, there's a possibility we might have a developer that might take care of the parking lot for us, which would be sweet. Because, for Dave to plow it, it's terrible. Gravel, it's just terrible.
Well, I have,
So whatever, if there's any business owners out there that are listening, anything we can do, it's our history.
well, I have Mike Ladd in his office working on a project right now. We're going to try to revamp the chamber. So we're trying to figure out who's running the Chamber of Commerce money right now. But two, I have him pulling all the business information to host a business roundtable. So if you'd like to come to the business roundtable, you could talk on behalf of the Kelso House. I can talk on behalf of this chamber project that we're doing. And two, if you had something you wanted to talk about. But we want to bring all the businesses in the township together, talk about their needs, and talk about revamping the chamber.
Amen.
So
I mean, Jeff and Julie were the last ones that were.
they reached out to Jeff. I don't know if they've heard back yet, but we just don't know who's controlling anything because I don't want to have to build it from scratch if we don't need to.
Yeah, let me call Jeff.
Okay.
Have you tried to call him?
Yeah, Gordon's reached out to him.
Did he didn't return?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I know they have money left over. I think Dee Paymer said something about it.
Yeah.
Let me get to the bottom of it.
Okay. Because that's the roadblock before we can have the roundtable.
Okay.
All right, so the motion on the floor right now is the tree work at Kunzman Company, Kelso House, and part of our project to help and maintain that property for 3,300. Roll call for acceptance.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
And just to let the board know too on that, Dave did cut his price a little bit since it is the historical site. So he wanted to kind of help out on that too. So, I mean, because for what he's doing for $3,300 is
I
pretty
just
cheap.
wonder if that's Nick and Sue, if we do get businesses that assist, I mean, I wonder as a township if we could just provide them a little, note, a little letter like we do.
Yeah, I think we could do it
'Cause
easy.
that might attract other people to help.
Right.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, makes sense.
So maybe if you could talk to Jeff or whatever, Jeff Kunzman? Right?
Dave Kunzman.
Dave, and see what it would have been?
Okay, yeah, no, I can ask him because and personally, that oak tree itself should have been close to $3,000, I think.
Right.
Because
Well, I mean,
that's he's got to bring in a crane truck and all kinds of other stuff.
I mean, for us, on the township webpage or Facebook, we could at least say, well, we got so-and-so helping out here with the historical house.
And he may not want it out there though. No.
Well, whatever, you know what I mean.
I know, but
He does a great job.
yeah, he does a great
No,
job.
he's been
But I
good
mean,
at the township.
I mean,
And
he
he's not
says
gonna-
it's gonna be there, he's there.
He's not going to, he's gonna wait till everything dries up.
Yes, he may do some of the tree work that he can do off the driveway, like the big oak tree and the shaping of the other oak tree. No, he won't touch that until it dries out.
Another stupid question. I don't even know if we open this can of worms, but what about all that wood from the oak tree? Do we put it out there for residents or?
Either that or he might be taking some of it because he does sell firewood on the side.
Okay.
So, it's kind
Yeah,
of,
that's probably better.
I'd rather he takes, because I hate opening stuff
Yeah.
up because then there's that liability of people getting hurt.
Yeah, you're right.
well, because the thing is, it's like the asphalt jobs I have, most of the asphalt companies, they put in their bid that they take the grindings because they're recycled stuff. It saves them money on other projects. So it's kind of a trade-off.
But if anyone has extra asphalt,
Dave, be sure and tell him that big tree next to the house has a multi-year bee's hive.
Yeah, I've already,
It's horrible. Great big beehive in it.
Yeah, I've already warned him on that one. So,
maybe we can get some people to donate some new trees to put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but the stumps everything will be removed. So then we'll have it back at least spread. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that oak tree just looks so pretty there.
Well, everybody hates to see it go, but
I don't want
there's
to
a
see it go through
liability.
the roof.
Right, you don't want to see it go through the council house because I don't know if you'd ever be able to replace it. Now I'm requesting board's approval again for at 4441 Sunnybrook Road. I'd like to do a directional bore job of putting in a 6-inch storm sewer. That would be through the JWD Electric Company. What we got an area there that's the road's flooding. And probably an old field tile failed through the area. So we need to put in a catch basin and a piping. Well, the thing is, it's so close to the road. If I put a ditch in, I'd be in trouble having cars sliding in the ditch because there's not much room between the hills and stuff there. So what we want to do is we want to directional bore it, put a pipe in from where the problem is down the hill and into the ravine where there's nothing exposed to the road but the catch basin. So, and that price would be right around $19,500, and it's 650 feet long. And it's something new. We've never really done this in the township. I mean, I've worked with directional boring through gas line work when I used to do gas line. So this will be the least likely stuff to disturb the ground in the area. There'll be one tie-in hole plus our catch basin hole.
Where is that 4441 Sunnybrook?
It's about midway between Howe Road and Sunnybrook. I mean, Howe Road and Mogador Road on Sunnybrook. Okay. If you're coming south from Howe Road and you go past the Belches farm, you go down that first big ravine. As you're coming up the ravine, the house sits there all by itself on the right in the wooded area. So if you just go past the house, you can see where there's a lake developing that's never been there before. So, and the residents, I've talked to a lot of residents. We were going to take it the other way, south to where the new pipe is we put across the road. But I understand the one people's thing is they already get enough water in their ravine where this used to dump to the north. Instead of us taking more water and put it on a poor people's house on the south, we'll just take it back to the north where it belongs. So this way we're not flooding out one resident that didn't have this water coming to them from before.
How close is that to the swimming hole?
Swimming hole.
I'm trying to picture where it is. How in Mogador?
If you go, no, it's on Sunnybrook Road.
So down by Tronge, down that area?
Down by Carol Nelson's.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Not
I know where you're talking
right.
about.
If you go past the
not
Belches,
Duncan side.
you go, yeah. Well,
We've had
it's
a
on
lot of
Sunnybrook
issues.
itself.
We've just had a lot of issues down there.
Yes, we're having, and this is old
Just that
piping
deep
system.
ravine and stuff.
Yeah, the deep ravine, it'll handle the flow because that's where the old field tile used to dump out to. So I just don't want to dump more water on another resident who didn't have this water all the time. We'll just put it in the proper place.
Okay. Did you happen to talk to John about this before?
I've mentioned it to John a little bit before. We would be taking it out of 2031.
It's there. There's Sunnybrook, there's Mogador.
Right, it was by Carol Nelson.
Yeah, because this winter we had trouble with the road icing completely over
Right.
there.
I
So
remember you saying something about
we've
that.
been we've pumped the water there with a pump 3-4 different occasions.
Okay, well, it's probably time to get it taken care of. I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion for repairing in the area 4441 Sunnybrook, directional boring. Who's the company?
JWD, I can't say their last name. Electric.
Donato?
Is that how you say it?
Donato, okay, for this project.
Not to exceed 19.
Yep, 19.5, is that what you said?
Yes.
I'll second that for discussion. Any other questions on this project?
How soon before they do it?
We'd have to get lined up. Plus, I got to get that area to dry up a little bit. So we'll end up having to pump it again before they. But again, like right now, the weather's causing such an issue with projects. So.
Right.
This is going to come out of 2031 account, 2031,
Yes.
according to John.
Is he watching the meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, is he drinking while he's watching this meeting?
He said we're good on the iPads too. All right, so we have a motion on the floor out of the 2031 account for 19,500 for directional boring. Roll call for acceptance.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right.
And that concludes my report for today.
Dave, any update on your part-timer? Have we had any more applications?
Well, we did go through, that's the thing I was gonna put on the business workshop. We went through HR and did some other avenues and stuff. And as of right now, I have one application.
Okay.
Actually, a second one may be coming in. I discussed something with somebody else, we'll see. But right now, all we're really getting is kids that are just getting out of high school.
Right.
That's it. There's nothing else.
Well, anybody knows anybody that's even kids that come out of high school, they got to be 18, but we're looking for a part-time road worker. It's great opportunity leading into the summer before they head off to college. Get some experience and some money.
$17.50 an hour.
Yeah, $17.50 an hour.
Yeah. So application is open.
See the world.
All right. Any other questions for the road department? Hearing none, we'll move into Parks and Recs.
I do have that. So Aaron sent me, and I'll give you the updates, the evening of Friday, April 8th. They had an amphibian walk, which was cold and rainy, but they did have 30 participants to that. So she said the amphibians were not very active, but nevertheless, they had a good turnout and it was fun. They also held an egg painting program on Friday the 15th, which also was enjoyable, seemed for most people. Upcoming programs is on April 26th, from 6 to 7:30. Will be a guest speaker at the community center for the Talk Around series. Mike, did you follow up with her on that?
We were texting. I'm not sure where we're at.
That may be canceled. I have some more information. We'll talk later about that, but
Out on that.
okay. We'll follow in a little bit. I got some more information. And then a quick note, we had discussed, and she had looked this up, and I actually forgot about it. Going back to the beginning of 2021, the average rentals for the community center that Mike had asked about was 10 per month. So you had asked about that.
Right.
You followed up. So
Good.
other than that, Erin again is working part-time, but she's held everything together. Great. So very happy with her progress.
We need, her focus right now is obviously Touch a Truck. That's our next big event.
Right.
But we also need to start making sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed for Brimfest, because that's going to be coming up. So we need to start having those discussions again.
Okay.
And, I received a call yesterday from American Fireworks. And I talked to Craig about it. They're very interested in also doing the fireworks, but I think we have a contract with the fireworks.
We had a contract. I believe we are at the end of our contract, but as I said before, I'm very happy with the people we have, but I'll entertain the thought of American Fireworks.
Okay.
Put them on pavilion up, are they gonna be able to shoot them off there?
Nope.
And Nick, if we could, I'd sure like to see what we got going so far for Touch a Truck.
She did give me a small list. We have one food vendor, and then we have all of our township vehicles and some other vehicles coming in. And it sounded like she had put up a post that there's gonna be some crafts. So I think she reached out to somebody to do some more kids activities too. So it's picking up from 3 weeks ago.
Okay, well, we just.
Mike, we probably need to meet with her.
I think we just gotta keep pushing it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a little.
Again,
Nice.
she's working part-time and she's holding all the rentals down and everything, but she is only part-time. So
Right. I just, want to make sure we have enough food and stuff.
we should probably meet.
I thought we would have had more food vendors.
Yeah, I was expecting to have 2 food vendors because every year it's gotten bigger.
You had great numbers last year.
So, all right, well, let's meet with her and see what we need to do to add another food vendor.
So we have an A10 Warthog coming in. Just putting that out there. We need some stuff to see.
From the date again for Touch a Truck.
It's Father's Day weekend, so it is June 18th, I want to say, yeah.
Well, what about the helicopter? Is that ever a possibility again, or?
We might be too late in the game this year for the helicopter, but we can reach out to Metro. It just depends on what their opening is.
Yeah, we've tried that over the years and we're about 50%. It's hard to schedule the helicopter because I swear it'll be sunny here and they'll say we can't fly because it's cloudy there. So It's a lot of work for a maybe.
Yeah.
So, not saying we can't do it, but
Right.
half time we get canceled on.
We just need some bigger vehicles, a monster truck, or just some things for kids to play in. I think that's what we need. So, we'll open up to ideas.
That's all I have.
All right. Anything else?
Or even some vintage military vehicles, or
Mhm.
you know, Craig LeMaster, maybe Mike could drive a Jeep.
We sold most of them.
Did he? Even that Ford Jeep?
Dave, you're going to open your stuff up for use again too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a whole, probably just take pretty much and unload the whole shop out there like we normally do. Backhoes, mini, Bobcat, dump trucks, different size ones. We'll pretty much have everything set again.
Okay. All right. Anything else for Parks and Rec?
Nothing.
All right. Any updates for cemetery?
No.
Quick update. We have the Memorial Day event coming up. That agenda's been put out, correct?
Yes.
So everything's
Ready.
scheduled. Everything's good. We're not adding anything else to the agenda. We're good to go. All right. If you haven't been to our cemetery or Memorial Day event, I encourage you to attend. It's a good service and it's a great way to recognize those in our community. Fiscal office. Any updates from fiscal office? Okay.
I was on the beach.
Yeah.
It's not the only update.
We do have an executive session with Brimfield Fire Department. We'll be board members. We'll get to that in one moment. Do you have that paperwork, Craig?
Yep, Rochelle has it, and it's
Michelle,
it'll
can I
be
have it?
under
'Cause I have to read it off.
it'll be under number 4, preparing for negotiations.
Before we do that, though, because I know not everybody wants to wait around for us to exit executive session, we will open up the floor for the good of Brimfield Township. Please state your name and address before addressing the board. Limit comments to 3 minutes, but the floor is open. Any comments on what we talked about? Sure.
Justin Couch, 1542 Talmadge Road. And I was just wondering, with the soccer fields, where the parking was going to be for that, I know that whole area there is, that road, a lot of people drive pretty fast along it. And between the altar care and the soccer fields. And I was just there with my kids on the bike and looking at, you know, obviously that parking lot belongs to the building that's right there. So where would parking be for that?
So we encourage people to park on the side road that kind of dead ends back there. So we see that a lot for baseball too, that they just line up down that side road. Some people park at the plaza and walk over. Unfortunately, some people park in the doctor's office lot too, but we don't encourage the parking.
Justin, there's always a thought to maybe put in a parking lot to the east side of it, opposite west side. No, east side.
East side.
Yeah, but when you say parking lot, you then kick in like 15 variances, so we're not doing that. So it would be on the side road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, very good. And then also, our church may be interested in providing a bus for touch a truck if that's something that you guys are interested in.
Yeah, I mean, we're always open to any vehicles. I would say contact the Parks Department just to get on the schedule, but we don't turn anybody away. It's just an opportunity to network with families and let the kids see buses and whatever else that they can be involved with. So appreciate that. All right, anything else for the good of Brimfield Township? All right, if not, I'm going to make a motion this date of 4/20/2022 to move into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G, for the purposes of consideration of the following manners. Preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with the public employees concerning their compensation, other terms and conditions of their employment. In this executive session will be the board members and the fire chief. Anybody else you want in there? And Rochelle. Need a second for that motion, please.
I'll second.
All right, roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed. We're in executive session as of 9:07.
All right, thank you, everyone. meeting.
I will make that motion.
Second.
All right, roll call to end the meeting at 9:27.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, motion
Thank you
passed.
for your fine minute keeping.
Thanks.